Hey, welcome back to a beginner's guide to using WordPress. A very important part of WordPress is represented by plugins. These are tools used to extend the functionality of WordPress. Now, since it is so versatile, you cannot incorporate everything it can do in the core of the framework. Instead, you would use a plugin to add a very specific functionality. That's what you'll be learning in this lesson.
To access the plugins, you need to go to the sidebar menu, Plugins. At first, this will give you a list of all the installed plugins, but you also have the ability to add new ones, either by clicking this link or this button on the top. As I was saying earlier, a plugin is basically an extension with a very specific functionality. For example, let's take the default Hello Dolly plugin. When I activate it, you'll see a random lyric from the Hello Dolly song. Refresh, and you can see another one. So, of course, this is a very simple plugin. It doesn't have any awesome functionality, but it gives you some kind of idea on how plugins work. If I want, I can deactivate it at any time, or actually delete it if I want to. A plugin that also comes by default is Akismet. This is one of the best plugins that protects your blog from comment spam. You have to create an account with them, then you gotta get an API key, and then you activate it. And this will effectively monitor what comments are coming in, and it will automatically separate the spam ones. So this is a very, very helpful plugin. So how exactly do you add plugins? Well, let's hit the Add New button, and in here you can see a list of featured plugins, or you can view popular or favorite ones. You see an icon, the title of the plugin, as well as a description and the plugin author. So let's scroll down here. You can see, for example, bbPress, which is the forum plugin for WordPress. Very, very cool. You can search plugins by tags, or you can simply search by entering a keyword here. So let's check out some of the most popular plugins. For example, let's take WordPress SEO by Yoast. Let's install it. It's going to ask me if I'm sure you want to install. Yes. And this will take you to the plugin installation page. It's going to say installing the plugin. It's been successfully installed. And then you can either return to the plugin installer or activate it directly. Once you activate it, you're going to see a few changes. For example, this menu item and also this menu item. Right? So the plugin adds functionality, but also it has a few settings. So for that, it creates some menu entries. So if we go to the dashboard here, you can see some general settings. Now, these plugins belong to the WordPress plugin repository, which can be found at wordpress.org/plugins. And if you're searching for something particular, you can search it here. You can download it and then install it manually from the WordPress backend. So if you go to Plugins, Add New, you need to click on this link, and then you simply upload the zip file with the plugin right here, and it will be installed. But probably the quickest way is just to search for a plugin. Now, let's go back here and deactivate the WordPress SEO. As you can see, it removed the menu entries. Now, another great source of WordPress plugins is CodeCanyon. So if you go to codecanyon.net, you go to the WordPress category, you will find a list of paid plugins that will do pretty much everything you need, from e-commerce to contact forms to SEO. You have all of these categories here, and you can filter by price, by sales, by rating, and you can find the plugin that you want. So it depends on what you need. You can either search for a plugin here in the plugin directory, or you can search one on codecanyon.net. Now, wherever you get the plugins, you have the ability to edit them right from the backend. Using the editor function here, you first need to select the plugin that you want to edit. Hello Dolly, for example, select. On the right side, it's going to show you a list of all the files contained in that plugin, and then in here you have a simple editor. that you can use to change the plugin files. But, if you're just starting out in WordPress, it's better not to touch these files. At the bottom, you also have the ability to look up documentation for certain functions. For example, for count, if I hit lookup, it's going to take me to php.net documentation for that specific function. That's a pretty handy feature to have. So that's basically how you work with plugins.
Now, in the next lesson, you'll learn how to work with users. And different users can have various degrees of access to different parts of WordPress, and you can control that. So I'll see you next time.